We're going on a dark ranger ride with the doggy.
We're going on an early morning ranger ride, aren't we? Light? Yeah, we'll turn the lights on in the ranger and we'll drive around.
The doggy's coming.
Yeah, the dog's coming, yeah. It's dry, isn't it? Look how dusty it is. He's excited. I've got to drive, mate. I've got to drive. Okay. Oh, my fingertips are frozen. I can't even undo my seatbelt. Okay. Just got one more something to put on. Got it. Oh boy, you want some too? Oh, little boy. Yeah, I think it's around here somewhere. I can't do it. There's too much muscle between my sock and my foot. And it's not my muscle.
Mommy, why can't we just we do the water slide? Summer. But Daddy, I want to do the water slide again.
Fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I want to do it again. How about some ducks and pool? So then we have to go.
Oh, it is. The grass is frozen. It is cold. That is ice. I knew it was cold, but I didn't know it was that cold. Joey. I knew it was that cold, but the grass is frozen. And my hands are not far off. I can't believe how cold it is. It's blistering cold. Well, it's definitely below zero with frozen grass. Let's keep going. It's us. Beautiful winter's morning. Such a gorgeous day. It's going to be a cracker. Righto. Well, my fingers have stopped working. Whew. They've gone from feeling cold and numb to now they're on fire. So I lost control of being able to ride the bike, so I've had to pull it in. But I've had a good run. Jeez, it cold.
Beautiful girl.
cutie.
G'day guys, thought we'd give you a bit of an update. Had a few people ask about Abra, in particular how our training's going. So we thought we'd give you a bit of an update on where we're at and what's been going on. Overall, she's doing really well. She's a loose cannon. No, I'm only joking. She's doing really well, but she is also very much, you know, showing signs of she wants to work, and by work, you know, I'm talking about the line of work that her parents were in. She still poses a significant risk to people coming on the property. She poses a risk to some staff. She's a bit of a, you know, big question mark over the whole adoption thing. We were speaking with Dee about, you know, is Abra ready to go up for adoption, and Sam and I, you know, we're talking about, you know, exactly what are our concerns with her, and there are a few. There's a couple. You know, we really think that she's got a strong internal drive to be protective, to use the mouth, and no one's No one's really immune to that. But as far as she's going here at the farm, she's loving farm life and you know, fits in very well with the pack. I do still settle her down multiple times a day and redirect her energy because she can get carried away. But she's a beautiful personality. Love her soft nature if you're not on the other end of her behaviour. But yeah, there's heaps to talk about, but I just don't know exactly.
That's okay. I
I
can maybe if I point out a few things to comment on. So with the D scenario, and we can just talk a bit about, just because it might give some.
So Dee's trying to help us out as best she can.
So you know. Dee sent us an email. One of actually Dee's staff started the conversation. Dear Janine, and she just asked the question.
How's Abra
going? How's Abra going? You know, is she ready for us to put up for adoption, like to advertise?
Yeah.
And genuinely, they're doing it to help us out. You know, they're trying to push, you know, Rover and Abra, see if they could find a home for them. You know, thinking that, you know that's something that is in their control to help Sam and Luke. You know, so that we're real grateful that they are going to that effort. But
definitely.
the Abra one is a tricky one, and so as soon as we, you know, we saw the email, obviously Luke and I had some big conversations about it, doing like pros and cons for both sides, like her staying here and her being adopted out. And at the end of the day, we couldn't go past one point, and that was that she's of high risk of biting her adopter. And
she's at high risk of biting anyone who's not established themselves as, you know, her clear owner or you know, controller.
So we feel like that she definitely could bond with somebody else over a period of time, but it's that period
of time that
we're worried about,
and then also, you know, moving forward.
That's right, because even once she established that bond with that person, as we're explaining, we're still managing her drive to bite, and so that owner is going to be taking on that very, very large and dangerous responsibility. And so we were feeling like we didn't feel right about putting that responsibility on someone else and saying that she's ready for adoption. And we explained that to Dee, and we asked how she felt about it, and she also doesn't feel comfortable adopting a dog out that is likely to bite a person. Obviously.
But at the same time, like, we're honest.
Very,
and we don't want to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. We don't want to sugarcoat anything. You know, our standards are very high compared to most people looking to adopt a dog. So, you know, we definitely don't want to go, yeah, cool, have this one, and, you know, a whole can of worms just take over. Even
if it feels like, oh, hey, it'd be easier if we didn't have that extra, you know.
But it's, as with anything that we've done here at the farm, we're always only wanting the best for the dog, and if we're not going to put her in the hands of someone who is extremely competent and capable, then we just won't put her in anyone else's hands. It is a bit of a different situation compared to some of the rehabs that we've done. With Abra, you know, she's been bred specifically for that purpose of biting. She's been bred specifically for that instinct to use her teeth and protect anything that is not her family circle. So, you know, we see it every day when staff arrive. We have to manage it, but that's her job. That's what she's being selectively bred for.
And it is probably a bit more of risk at the moment while she's so young and immature.
Yeah. She's, and that's what I made a joke about it before, but she's immature, which means she's a bit of a loose cannon. She's a bit unpredictable. She can go from completely calm, like she is here, to lunge up and bite on the back of the leg someone who just happens to walk past. You know, that isn't us.
Yeah.
And so we need to take that quite seriously.
So that will lessen as she reaches maturity.
It should. Yeah, it should. Naturally, she'll start to, you know, mature into these things. But yeah, at this stage, it's something that we can't ignore, and we can't just put out there to someone who may not understand the seriousness of her instinctual behaviour.
So that's how we feel about
Abra's readiness for adoption.
So I'm hoping that people will understand like how we're thinking, you know.
Yeah, I think that realistically, if you know, you think about it as us being responsible for an outcome if we give them to the wrong person, like you have to be critical on the fact that no, she's not ready.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just move her on because she's challenging. Like that's we just have to deal with it as best we can. Just like any of the dogs, once they're here, you know, they're always going to be well looked after until something better comes along, and if nothing better comes along, then they'll always have a home here. So at this stage, she's not ready, that's for sure.
She, like, because I guess we don't touch on the fact that she does like to lash out at the other dogs. It's not in the same realm as you know, like a Chance or a Roscoe or anything like that.
It's purely fun and entertaining for her. She wants to cause a reaction in the other dog, and she likes confrontation.
Yeah.
You know, she just wants to instigate another dog to have a tussle with, and you know, is not shy of. So obviously the major issue in adopting her out is the human risk. However, you know, someone would also at this point in her life and training would also be taking on the responsibility or the hassle of having to also manage her in a dog situation. So that there's a lot to take on with Abra. You know, it's not so much a stress living here, is it? Really, and just because we are very much on top of, I guess, management, and you know, like even with staff, like everyone arriving and moving around and that. So it's not causing us any stress. It's just that when asked the question of is she ready for adoption, obviously. The question is. The answer is no, she's not.
Yeah. So. But, and then, you know, some people would be thinking, well, are you just going to keep her? Like, I will just put it out there. And, because even Dee, she absolutely, and I just want to let everybody know at home that Dee was trying to, you know, push, like, as in ask, is she ready? Because she wants to take that, load, even if it's a small load, off our shoulders. But you know, she agrees that she doesn't want to adopt out a dog that is of risk of biting, people. But she also doesn't want us to feel like we need to take responsibility for Abra, or that we feel obligated to adopt her.
Which is nice.
We don't feel that for Abra. We would probably feel more stress adopting her out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because we know that
we would worry.
She's safe here, and we know that we manage her to make everyone else who comes here safe. So, we don't see it as a big issue because we're managing it. But someone else taking it on may learn the hard way and then realise, oh, okay, better take more steps because she's already bitten someone or whatever. But yeah, it's not. We don't feel. We've never felt that we've been pressured to adopt any dog. We've always done it out of our genuine desire to adopt them. And
obviously, the reasons have been different.
Absolutely. For
every dog.
Yeah.
There's been some individuals, and Shadow's a good example. Where we, it's similar to Abra in terms of.
Yeah, Shadow's similar.
Yeah. And we have no regrets in adopting Shadow. We love her. She has a wonderful life. She loves our family. But she does still show the signs that we were concerned about.
Yeah. And still needs to be kept in check.
Yeah.
Like, she still pokes her head out every now and again. But yeah, I think she's in a similar category to Shadow. She's definitely... She's not as volatile as Shadow, though. So I think Shadow had more of a risk of going from calm, relaxed, no signs, to full-blown mauling to pretty much death, really. Whereas Abra, her bite style is very different. She bites like a personal protection dog, where she's not going to, kill another animal or kill a person, but she's definitely going to grab hold of them and subdue them, which is a different style. So, yeah, I think Shadow posed a little bit more of a risk of some, more serious injury. Like, Abra's going to put holes in you, no problem. You'll have an arm like Swiss cheese, but no, Shadow would.
But you won't die.
Shadow would, yeah, you're not going to die. Shadow would do more damage.
So, I did want to try and take a light-hearted approach to this.
Well, you'll survive it.
And it's good. Goodness.
Yeah, I've been bitten millions of times. A little bit of betadine spray, good to go in 2 days. It's all take.
Okay. Goodness.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? It's a tricky one, and so when
That's
someone
what I mean.
asks, like, how's Abra going? How's the
technical.
training going?
Yeah.
It's not a straight answer, is it?
It's not a straight answer, and we're honest people. We're not trying to.
No. Yeah, nothing about what we've said is untrue, or we haven't hidden anything, and it is just how we're thinking or feeling about the situation. I do feel like Abra is happy, and I feel like she is just perfectly Abra.
Like, if I point out all the really positive things about Abra,
yeah, let's do that. End on a good note.
So loyal to you and I and the kids.
Yes.
She has so much enjoyment and excitement whenever the kids come out, and She's so respectful of them.
She sure
loves
is.
to see them, loves to come up and say hello, then gives them space. Not once has she ever been a threat or even shown any red flags towards the kids in any way.
Other than that first period when she did come and she was
right
biting
at the beginning,
everything.
yeah, but we
yes.
didn't let her near the kids at that point. We
Well,
had to introduce
we
her.
were socialising
That's
her
right.
on lead.
That's right.
You know, she was in training.
But since she's...
Yes, but just for everyone at
Yeah,
home.
yeah, sure. And even when, like, the interesting thing about Abra, even when I was doing bite work, is she doesn't want to bite the sleeve while it's on my arm because it's me. Which was very interesting about her. So, you know, she's like, I don't want to bite that. I don't want to bite you.
She would be great with a decoy.
Absolutely. She would.
She would want to.
I don't know, we could ask Auntie Chris. You want to put a bite sleeve on?
No. We don't. Anyway.
I should just see if the Woolworths delivery driver wants to just get 20 minutes work for an extra $50. Just run across the paddock with this sleeve on and we'll see you on the other side.
Completely joking.
Yeah.
Would not do that.
Joking,
anyway, back to Abra's positive.
Yeah. No, she...
And what we love about Abra.
Yeah. So, but what I was saying was, that's a personality trait in her that I really connected with and understood, and which is part of the reason why I'm like, okay, well, I'm not set up to have another person be the decoy, and so therefore I'm not going to pursue this kind of bite work because it will just confuse what her instinct is telling her to do. She would, you know, love to be at the end of the lead and someone else there and, you know, encouraging her to bite. But we don't want to go down that path at this stage. We decided that we weren't going to send her into that work as far as adopting her out is concerned. So it was really just stimulation for her. Yes, she would love it, but I just don't have the staff anymore to put holes in. But you give her the bite sleeve without it being on, loves it, wants to tear it apart.
And so
I've started to redirect that energy into toys though, and as you can see now, she's chewing on a stick, having a good old time. Hello, mate.
still loves to chew on the blanket at night.
Loves to do it. Every time I see it, I have a little giggle, you know, because I know that she's processing all those bites she could have got today, and she's taking it out on the blanket.
So
Like a dummy for it.
I thought also, like, rather than get into all the different types of drives, because it's very, very extensive and complicated, and everyone has a different opinion on what each drive looks like. But I thought that we could just talk in the sense generally about that she is an extreme high-level drive dog. You know, because people talk about that often. You know, how certain breeds or even individual dogs are high-drive dogs. German Shepherds are classed as a high-drive dog.
She's got the Shepherds in spades.
And so, if just for comparison, the Mallee and Dutchie breeds are next level 2 GSDs.
Oh yeah.
Anyone in the field of protection would
Know what we're talking about.
would agree. A lot of people choose GSDs though because they are so naturally balanced. They can be a family dog and a protection dog. You know, they've got that calm off switch. But the Mallees and Dutchies,
no, she's got a high work drive. There's no question about that.
So where I was going with that is, you know, because we've got 4 German Shepherds, and then we've got the Shepherd mix in Abra, which is the Malinois and Dutch Shepherd. And so if we were to talk about the comparisons, you know, of the 4 Shepherds We've got like a show breed shepherd, and then we've got the more working line shepherds, which is the triplets, versus Abra. And then also just talking just generally on high drive, exercise can fulfill that need for like stimulation and work, and which we give in bucket loads here at the farm. So she's never bored or frustrated or looking for something to do.
No.
I just wanted to assure everybody.
She's never bored, and she's never frustrated because she's got all this pent-up energy that she needs to expel.
Yep.
But
destructively,
no, so she doesn't have that. So we're giving her enough exercise. However, she is always looking for a job. Always. Like, I'll let all the dogs in the house, and if I go towards that door like I'm going out, she'll get up from wherever she is. She's like, I'm coming with you. Let's go. She's always there to go, what are we doing next? Where are we going?
So as she matures, the plan will be that her job will be like we have given Roscoe and Fredo. Like, she will have that like job of personal protection for the family. Whenever we walk outside the house, or and they feel fulfilled. Like Roscoe and Fredo, 1,000% feel fulfilled.
They've got their job and
they love it. And so as she matures, she will step into that role also. I'm just if people are worried, like, oh, she doesn't have a job.
So if anyone wants to volunteer and come put a bike sit on and do it at 11 o'clock at night, exercise where it's dark, we'll come out, you'll jump the fence.
Joking.
Not really.
No, we're not. Stop it, Luke. We are joking.
We need some test subjects.
We do not. We are not looking to do that at all, okay? No, we are not. Just in terms of differences, because I have to say personally, I love the shepherds. I love them. I mean, I probably say that about all of them, actually, because I love the Staffies and I love Fredo and I love Cutie Pie and Tilly. Anyway, but there's just so many qualities about the shepherds that I just absolutely love.
They have been a popular dog for generations.
Totally. I go to the bathroom at night, and our bathroom is very small. Like, it is tiny, okay?
But it is chock.
And it is like all the shepherds and Fredo, of course, all in that tiny little room, making sure that I don't get eaten by the toilet monster. Every single time, they're so loyal and protective, and, their whole being is about you, the owner, and making sure that you're okay and just being your shadow. So, yeah, I just love shepherds.
Thank you, boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, mate.
Tanky's just trying to keep his distance from...
Yeah, I did hear a little growl then, and I was missed it, but I was waiting for... He's been keeping his distance this morning with Cruiser on lead. No, I know what you're saying, but we were talking about... Are you talking about talking about the differences between Abra and the...
Yeah, sorry, yep. I got carried away with how much I love them.
On the toilet.
Stop it.
So that's a visual of Sam.
Shush!
And all the dogs are around.
Well, that is definitely not going in this. Oh, goodness, all the editing I have to do. Right.
Okay, so let's pick up where we left off. Sam's on the toilet.
I'll stop. I'm going to... So let's get back to just our observations. Abra... differences between Abra and the shepherds.
Yeah, I would say that like the shepherds know how to clock off at 4 o'clock at night 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then come inside and put their pajamas on and hang out with the house, you know, and live a life.
Yes.
Whereas I would put Abra in a similar bucket to the Kelpies, where Joey will work all day, but as soon as we go inside, Joey switches off and turns into recovery mode, ready for tomorrow's work. Like, that's her goal. It's always work oriented. Whereas, you know, Abra is still more work focused than Joey is. And, you know, like, if I call the dogs or say that we're going outside, they all get up and get excited to go out. But while we're out there at night, I'm putting the bins out or something, the shepherds just lie on the front grass and go, "You're interrupting our home life," you know?
Yeah, it's hard to even get them to go to the toilet.
Right.
They literally take a step out and they're like, "I'm ready to go back in."
Is just like, "Where we're going, what are we doing yet? We're going to do a big one, a small one, what are we doing?" Like, she's up for anything all the time. The shepherds aren't. The shepherds are just like, it's cold, it's warm inside, or, you know, what are we doing out here? Like, we're just going to the toilet. And she's like, "Nah, I'd rather just lie down and wait till you open the door, let me back in." Okay. So, you know, they've got their, you know, I wouldn't say they're creatures of leisure, but they know how to relax and have a good time. And they know how to switch off, and, you know, if they need to, they know how to switch it on. Abra struggles to switch it off. I'd even go as far as to say that she can't.
She can. We
She
have
passes out.
in recent times we have witnessed her now settling down inside, where she didn't used to, but at the drop of a hat
she can settle.
Yes,
but she can't switch it off.
Yeah.
So there's nothing going on when she's settling.
Yeah, that's a good
But if
clarification.
I get up and I walk out,
100%.
she is on.
Whereas the shepherds would be like, "Is Mum going?"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, Mum's not going.
Yeah, no,
Oh, goodness.
They'll lift their head and look at me and be like, "Oh no, that's not the direction of
I'll
the
pass.
toilet."
Yeah. Rain check.
See when you come back. Whereas Abra can't do that. She's just like, "We're on. Let's go."
If there was a threat, the shepherds would definitely be there.
Oh, 100%.
But
Which we've seen it
we're not
time and
saying
time
that
before.
they're choosing, the couch over, something going on.
No.
But
Something going on is literally me walking outside, putting something in the bin and coming back in 30 seconds. And everyone knows, like, he'll be back.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything.
So there's that.
Look at that. Ball hanging out of his mouth. What are we doing? So, she's a very different kettle of fish. Yep, she's a shepherd. She's very different to a GSD.
Yeah.
But like you said before, can see the desire for a German Shepherd. Can see that
So
they can
much.
tick so many boxes.
Yeah,
for,
they're beautiful family dogs.
Yeah.
They're so loyal. They honestly, and everyone's seen it in the videos, they let the kids do anything
they
to
want,
them. They're
And-
so trustworthy.
So trustworthy, but also, they're a big threatening dog for an intruder. They will sit there and bark and raise the alarm and be threatening. Whereas, Abra's a different kettle of fish, She's a little bit more on the stealth side. She's a little bit more of a calculating what's the best way to get in and give you one, Like it's different. It's just different.
She's looking for she's looking for warfare, confrontation.
Yeah.
Whereas the GSDs, I do feel like, ours anyway, are probably hoping that you're just going to run away from my bark,
Yeah.
I don't really want to, obviously if I'm pushed to it, I'm going to protect my family, but
Absolutely.
but I'm giving you the bark because I'd like you to just take that.
I see that, like, in a couple of the times when they bark and they're like, hey, get out of here. And they'll be like, Luke, you're coming. Luke. They're like, yeah, we're big and tough, but Dad's coming.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it. But Abra, like, she doesn't look back for me. She's, we're doing this? Yeah, let's do this. You know, she doesn't hesitate. Same as Fredo. Fredo's just like, game on. Then you lace up the boots. We're in, you know. But yeah, I love them for their differences.
Same.
You know, I feel like, and a lot of people have asked me the question, which breed's your favourite? I honestly don't have a favourite. I think that all of the different breeds have such a unique quality about them that I enjoy them all.
Which is why humans have bred them, you know. So they've all got their different qualities and, you know, like if we were to look at, say, Tank and Chopper, like we love them so much. Like we just love their qualities. But there is no way they are getting off that couch for anything.
No way.
So we've just talked about like the shepherds and, you know, like how there's levels of reaction.
We could have someone break into the house and walk out with our TV, and Tank and Chopper would be sitting on the couch looking at him going, just don't make me get up. You know, you can take the TV, just close the door on the way out, it's cold. You know, I don't care.
When they're in that zone, you know. Yeah, so very, very different.
And then you've got Cutie Pie, who is very, very protective of any leftover food scraps. Could be a crumb on the corner of the table and she'll guard it, any dog that comes near them.
Take on the Rottweiler.
Yeah. Just unleashes fury on them. No, the dogs don't even feel her doing whatever she tries to do, but she guards it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. So look at Chop lying in there, in the grass.
It's hard to see him, but yeah.
We got these two shenanigans over here.
There's probably a lot more we could talk about, you know, with the shepherds, and maybe we can chat about it another day.
Yeah, it goes pretty deep.
Yeah, we're just giving a little bit of, you know, what it's like living with these five and the differences between. And hey, we you know, obviously we've had the triplets here since day dot. So even if, you know, 3 German Shepherd puppies, you know, which is pretty crazy, and we know how cheeky and that they can be, and, you know, they can be destructive and naughty, and, you know, so much energy, need lots of exercise and training and boundaries and all of those things. And so even having 3 of them, you know, Abra is...
Oh, she's leagues above the requirements compared to those 3.
Yeah. So...
But, you know, this is...
But she's perfect for, you know, what
she's designed for.
Yeah. And we love her, and she loves us, and she's having a great life here at the moment. Yeah. So I guess that's all we can say at this point, isn't it, really, in terms of where Abra's at?
It's pretty much, you know, concludes our update, but it's ongoing.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
That's where we're at the moment. Yeah, as far as we're concerned and what we're doing here and how Abra's going, I'm pretty sure that sums it up. But I really enjoy, you know, learning through watching her and understanding her, and because it's different. It's similar to what it is like with Cruiser, where he's very different. So I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of watching her, because, you know, it's another like I said before, she's in another league.
Yeah,
compared to the
and
rest
I
of them.
guess also maybe for our followers, just for some understanding of like Mallies and Dutchies in Australia, there's not many. Because I think that
Yeah.
our audience are probably more familiar with them than
most of Australia is.
exactly. Just so that everyone at home understands
there is
that.
a lot of conflicting arguments around the Dutchies and Mallies and, you know, where they come from and what they are, but...
There totally is, and you know, there's not a lot of experience in Australia. Whereas
I know
in
that-
Europe and
That's right.
even you know, more recently America, obviously with the working industries, but here in Australia it's all very new, and they definitely are not house pets. It has been more strictly work scenarios, or like Abra's parents, where they're purchased specifically
As
for a
qualified
job.
dogs, yeah.
You know, like, so we don't have a lot in rescues, and whereas I think internationally there's a lot everywhere.
Yeah.
Just so that
Yeah,
everyone
it's
understands.
It's a relatively new breed to Australia, as far as, like, they have been around for a while and specialised people have imported them and whatever. But I was
not-
going to say, even back when they were working with them in the military, they got them all from Europe.
Yeah.
They didn't get them from Australia. No one had them in Australia that had the ability to be that level working dog. They didn't have good enough training, breeding programs, anything here. They were too new. You know, there wasn't enough of a gene pool. So all the dogs came from overseas.
So I guess
fill the
that's
rank.
another thing that we, I guess, have considered in terms of putting her up for adoption. There isn't a lot of people
Not many
who
people
are,
know about them.
who when you say, oh, you need breed experience, there's not many here in
No.
Australia. The people that do are usually ones that, you know, they've had them for working environments, or they're breeding them specifically for, like, it's very, very minuscule, the percentage. So she is in a tricky situation.
Yeah. No, she's definitely in a you know, unique spot where,
which is why we kind of pushed to take her on in the first place when she came here.
especially that first day.
Yeah, like, it's so funny if we reflect on that, where she literally was biting you multiple times a second through that whole bushwalk. And just knowing, I guess, what we know about them, we felt,
She thought it was the best thing in the world.
maybe that she shouldn't just go out to anyone, you know, through the shelter. We should probably help Dee out with this dog, and so that was the reason why we wanted to take her
I fully
on.
expected her siblings to come back as well from wherever they went.
Yeah, but you know,
she just may be the one out of the litter, or
there's that chance. You know, there's lots of things that you know, there's so many people out there that do a very, very good job of managing dogs. Like, I follow all the groups and pages on reactivity and, you know, people living with dogs that have aggression, and they do a brilliant job of managing dogs with, you know, issues. So it's, you know...
As a dog trainer, I've come across many people who have lived, you know, 5 years with this hugely problematic dog in society, and they do what they need to do to look
That's
after the
right,
dog.
because they love the dog,
love the dog,
and
they
they'll
don't
do
want any
anything.
trouble.
That's exactly
You know,
right. It can be very stressful.
They wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning to walk the dog when they know no one is at the dog park.
That's
you know,
right.
because their dog's not suitable to be around other dogs or other people or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So people do, like you say, they're very, very good at looking after their dogs, and they do what needs to be done. So who knows? They might be managing, or they don't have any issues.
There's lots of ways that you can manage a dog like Abra. Like crate training would be a big one
crate
for
training's
her.
recommended for these guys.
Yeah. All the PPD groups I follow, like crate training is a really big one for management. Like in terms of,
Well,
you know,
I
Anyway.
said before, they don't trust these guys until 18 months to 2 years. So they crate them to just switch off themselves rather than having to manage them 24/7. And so that's part of the thing. It's also part of their drive to work as hard as they can during their time out of the crate. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, we're trying to adapt Abra into our environment, and it's been a journey. We'll continue this journey into the future.
She's a sweet girl though.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah, super smart. So smart, it's not funny.
Yep. Very much so. Okay, well, hopefully it's been interesting, or there's maybe something that people could take out of this, and otherwise it's just an update on Abra and where she's at, and yeah.
Well done. Well done. Roscoe having some time out in his tool cupboard.
Yeah. Are you hungry? Dada?
Hello, mate.
Where's your nose?
Oh, Gus has got a strong tail, doesn't he? Stay away from that, it's like a whip snipper. Yeah, it's a whippersnipper.
Dada? Dada?
Yeah.
Daddy, it looks like he's limping.
Nah. Roscoe's not limping.
He just didn't wake up.
Yeah, he just chills out. He just likes hanging out in there.
That's his office.
Yeah, it's his office, yeah.
boys are blowing off steam.